geometry dimension, you can see indefinite number of blocks, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
What happened is that you started in 16 was the quick, easy answer, right? Because you did 4 times 4, and you stop there. In other words, you close on the first thing that comes, and this is really, a lot of it is sequential thinking. So you gotta break away from this in order to do a little more creative stuff. Not respond just to the first thing that comes to your mind. Just like when you have a project. You know, you wait till the night before it's due, and then you crank something and then say, okay, that's good enough, you know. So you close on the first idea that comes, and the idea is to keep it open. Okay, there are some blocks to be more creative. Would you agree with that? A lot of the studies were showing that there are different blocks. And I'll go in each one separately, but there's perceptual block, emotional block, cultural block, imagination, intellect, expression, and finally environment. So perceptual blocks have the people have the inability to overcome preconceived viewpoints, or see the problem in a fresh light, or inability to see the real problem, because a lot of times we solve sub-problem and not the problem itself. And then some people have a hard time with holding immediate judgment. Like we would be in a chairs meeting and somebody comes up with the idea and somebody else will say, no, it doesn't work. We tried it, it's not working. It never worked. You know, that kind of stuff. So these are perceptual blocks. And let's look at some of this stuff. What do you see here? Come on. You gotta wake up. What do you see here?
Person with shoulders.
What's that?
It's like a head with shoulders.
Head and shoulders, okay. That could be a commercial for shampoo, right?
Someone's
Also with Dalmatian.
All right. What else?
See the Kool-Aid man.
Okay, you close on the first thing you thought, but it's a rider on a horse, right? You see that? Ah, okay. You gotta keep your mind open. What do you see here? Lungs? Okay, what else?
people.
People? What? Arguing?
Like they're like turning like that towards each other.
Yeah, okay. And it's a dog too, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things. And what happened is really, if you think about what your line of thinking was, you close on the first thing that makes sense to you. You don't explore it anymore. What is this?
A woman
Okay, what
in a
else?
reflection.
A woman looking in a mirror? It's called divinity. And there's a picture in a picture. This is an artist in Mexico that was doing things that there's a lot of stuff going on there. Sancho Pancho and Don Quixote and Cervantes and a lot of other things that you see there. But sometimes we close on the first thing that you see. And that's the idea behind perception and block. Try to keep your mind open. Emotional blocks. Fear of failure. We all have that. It was ingrained in us from the time we were little kids through school, right? You don't want to fail in front of your friends. Everybody will laugh at you. So you develop those blocks. Fear of being different. Insecurity, confusion, pressure from time and tension, and a lot of the stuff that we get that was negative. Somebody asks you a question and you answer it, no, you're wrong. So you develop those blocks, but everybody can overcome that. Okay? Culture blocks, complacency, unwillingness to be bothered, or willingness to accept mediocrity. In other words, yeah, I know I can do a better design, but do tomorrow, I'll just put it on, turn it in, and see what happens. Happened to you guys? Happened to me. Sometimes you just don't want to spend too much time. So these are the cultural things, maintaining the status quo. Let's not change things, you know, let's keep it the way it is. Authority and group domination or social taboos. There are ways to solve problems, but if it's against your culture, you're not going to do that. So we need to overcome some of these things. Imagination block is overcome fear, the unconscious, or inability to access the back of your mind. Or I don't think anybody in this class suffers from this, is distinguishing between reality and fantasy. But these are the blocks. Intellectual blocks have to do with information. If you have too much information, too little information, it's not gonna, you'll have a block there. And of course, you can overcome that like all the other ones. Expressional blocks, you hear a lot of it. Expression as far as verbal expression, musically expression, or graphically. A lot of people would come into the program and say, I don't know, I'm not sure that I fit in landscape architecture. I don't know how to draw. Or I don't know how to do this. And that's really expressional blocks. And with learning, you get over it. The last one is environmental blocks, and these are the blocks outside the person. All the other ones were internal kind of things. And environmental is when you try to multitask, do your homework, listen to a radio, and text at the same time, you'll have problems. So also lack of support from your teacher, your parents, your boss. You get a lot of distraction, and you're insecure. So these are outside the person, and obviously can get really quick rid of it if you concentrate on what you need to do. Okay? I designed this wheelbarrow, and I thought I'll show it to you and ask you what you thought about my wheelbarrow. What do you think about it? I mean, I had a little more hair when I did that, but what do you think about my wheelbarrow? Let me hear you, come on.
There's nothing to support the front.
Say what?
There's nothing to support the front.
Okay.
Yeah, the axis may not work.
It's unstable.
What?
It's unstable.
Okay. What else?
Handles are too short.
Say again?
Handles are too short.
Handles pretty short. Okay, what else? Somebody said something about color?
I don't like the color.
You don't? Okay.
What does the other side look like?
Same as this side.
I mean, the side that you're facing, how do things get on it?
Well, how do you load that thing?
Yeah.
Hands.
Might be hard, huh?
You don't know how it works?
I just designed it.
Okay.
It's really square.
Huh?
It's really not really well. It has sharp corners.
Okay, what else? Come on, get on the bandwagon.
Small wheels.
here.
Where's the support for the wheels? Or there's not
The wheel is
any.
slow?
There's not any space for the wheel to turn.
Oh.
The grill should be further forward,
Okay.
be hard to
Okay, what else?
It's just an odd shape.
Okay, yeah.
Probably pretty easy to dump.
What?
Probably be pretty easy to dump. Which
Hard
isn't
to
a
dump.
bad thing.
All right.
Oh, your arms.
All right. What did I ask you? I asked you, what did you think about my wheelbarrow, right? Did I? Did I ask you to give me criticism on my damn wheelbarrow? What did you give me? Except one. I got 9 responses. All were negative. Right? Am I going to show you another design of mine? Hell no. This group, there's no need for this. You're going to kill me. So the point is that when you're in a mode of creativity to develop things from embryo idea all the way to a finished product. You have to have trust and openness. You need a little humor. You need to take some risks, right? And you need what I did not get. Idea support, right? And playfulness and so forth. You need to create a climate for doing creative stuff. And if the climate is negative, like you go to a meeting and they say, oh, we've done it before, it didn't work. Or another one that's very typical to the academic world is, okay, let's set a committee. That's another kiss of death. So to be more creative, you need the atmosphere and the support of people. And I used to go every year to the Creative Problem Solving Institute in Buffalo, New York, for a whole week in the summertime. And we had little cliques there. Then when we were doing something, even if we had a non-verbal negative, we used to click it to remind people, let's concentrate right now on playfulness and idea support instead of criticism. And a lot of times that's what you do to yourself. You come up with an idea, and before you express it, you say, no, never mind. What did you do? You were thinking and judging at the same time. And the whole thing about being more creative is first thinking and then coming back to judge later. But you can't do it at the same time. Does it make sense to you? All right. So let's spend 3 more minutes in list ways you might change or improve a bathtub. Ding, 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 ding. Come on, right now. Okay, why don't you count your responses? And we'll go in the same order that we went before, and I'll write the responses. What do you have, sir?
I have a what?
Right. Okay? Keep going.
Agree.
Keep going. What?
7.
Okay?
8.
11.
14.
9. 7. 8.
Okay.
4.
How many?
4.
Six. 6.
8.
14.
8.
7.
11.
Okay. Most people had more responses to the bathtub than they did for the calendar. Why?
They probably use bathtub versus, I don't know,
We
desktop.
just went through a whole creative lecture.
What's that?
We just went through a whole creative lecture.
Okay, maybe you learned something about the blocks. What else? You feel a little looser when you did this one? You wake up, the wake up factor too. Okay, basically these are, again, coming out of research, there were 10 different items that yield basically the same number of responses. So these are like 2, the bathtub and calendar. Another one is a toothbrush and so forth. Normally they yield the same numbers. So you're saying, well, you know, I don't know much about the calendar, but I know about bathtubs. But actually, both of them should yield about the same. So if you have more responses,